Okay, so I connect more to the spirit world, or a version of it. The D-list, out of touch spirit realms. Yeah, how the spirit world needs to grow up and be better. I don't know. They're supposed to help us. It'd be nice if they do it. They are in a different dimension. Of course, we're here blindfolded and everything, so it'd be nice if spirit realms would get their act together. I mean, well, because if they're screwed up, we're screwed up. And of course, delusion is going to continue here, forever. Not everybody, but there's a good amount of it. They're waiting for the savior. The white hats are going to come save them. Something about that. I guess it's an easy button, asking for the white hats and asking for Jesus to save them, and wherever else I can think of. So, well, it's the lazy way of evolving. If they are evolving at all, probably not. So, it doesn't mean there isn't white hats somewhere. I don't know. That's like the worst word you can. Why would you even? That's it's almost like a kindergarten term. Either way, yeah. So, like old fashioned, like what's something from like the old west. Yeah, they probably don't use that. Whatever. Now it's the universe, and it's continuation of being difficult because it can. Because obviously it's here to test souls, not just on this planet but other planets, to get their act together. So of course you feel this world, many are not interested in that, to improve, evolve. So it's kind of like, it's like going nowhere, basically. So you might be 10 years ahead of society, and that's not always what it's cracked out to be, because society is not going anywhere. I mean, I almost feel like it's stuck in the 1920s still. Jeez. You can say that's manipulation to some level, but still, there is still personal responsibility there. I don't know. It's like usually I don't normally feel it clearly. Usually it's like the 60s or the 70s. But not the good parts of it. The 20s is kind of like, which makes sense. It's like the, free for all, free love, free whatever, and no consequences, no care for consequences, and just does whatever it feels like. Of course, you can say that's every generation, but this one, like this new generation that's coming in, is kind of out of whack. I think all of them are, but the Gen Z or whatever it is they call it, it's still kind of, it's similar. Yeah, it has some similarities to the 1920s. It does make sense to bring in a new era. Can be a good thing somewhere there. I mean, all the seeding of all this bizarreness. It's another way to rebel against what we have currently. A different group of people. So, yeah, that can work. It doesn't matter who becomes president. I think people have heard that. It really doesn't matter. You can really feel it too. Like, what's going to happen is going to happen no matter who's there. You can put a chair there. I wish they would. I think, well, then again, technically you have a fossil there, so, yeah. It just really does not seem like it matters. I mean, usually, you can feel the difference between the two groups. Normally, this time I don't feel any difference. Of course, you go on Twitter, it's a different story. But I feel like it's just no different. Anyway, so it's very bizarre. And Trump is still alive, so or guess. Whoever that is, he might have checked that a long time ago, which I wouldn't be surprised. Some people might have seen the real one in their dreams, and whoever we have now, kind of phoning it in. So, of course, he's old too, but still, it doesn't feel like it's the same guy either. It feels like it's somebody else, but whatever. It has the Trump card, so it doesn't really matter. It looks like him, so screw it, who cares? It's close enough. Yeah, it's weird. He's getting very tired. The film is very tired. Interesting. Alright, I started calling 5 sessions. Maybe. This is, yeah, schedule. Shop here. Yeah, it's basically not telling people what they want to hear, basically. The truth hurts. That's okay, you can stay in kindergarten forever. That's okay, you can stay in delusional Walmart for eternity until you want to move forward, because spirit world is screwed up. It's got its issues, obviously not completely screwed up. It has a lot of laziness there too, not just here. And the idea is for us to upgrade ourselves, but also, they're supposed to feel some effects of it too. Like, I don't know, just, it's not, yeah, because like you hear random messages from them. They don't know what the hell they're doing half the time. They really don't. This is like, it's like a physical bicycle. They just can't figure it out. Some can, a lot of them can't. They're just kind of, it's like, how do you make it work? Because they're a non-physical being. They can go wherever they want, and then they connect to a rock or whatever we are, and it's not communicating that well. So it's not always supposed to either, and it's supposed to be vague. Obviously, they gotta let us figure things out, so they kind of give us static. If they know what they're doing, they just sort of play along like they can't talk to us. There's that. They can't give us a full picture. We have to figure things out for ourselves, especially, they try to claw their eyes out. Well, we're on the roller coaster ride, and they know everything's going to be fine, obviously, from their end, but our end, it's like, what the fuck? It's like, you sure about that? It's weird. Yeah, it's just, of course, once you get through it, you see the outcome of it, but when you're going through it, it's hard to see where you're heading. So, if that makes any sense. So, there's different levels of the spirit realms. There's the lazy area. Then it does, just like here, it gets, you go from kindergarten to college, and it doesn't mean they're totally disconnected. Some might be. Of course, you have that here too. You have universities that just can give a shit about anybody. Just walk around with their noses up in the air, whatever. And there's others that have compassion, so it's the same thing as this here. It's just non-physical. It's just a non-physical realm. So anyway, but yeah, there's a lot of D-list students in spirit. That's for damn sure. They're the ones that say, "I'm sorry, I should have told you this." It's like, and it's true. They're messed up. And we'll see if they upgrade, we upgrade. They evolve, we evolve, and then we can move on to someone that makes a little bit more sense. So that, you can say the new Earth, I guess. Hopefully it's the smart version, not the like new Earth and we're just kind of stupid and we're just gonna go do this again. It's like the false new Earth. It's like, oh good, we're not in the new Earth. Oh wait a minute. Maybe not. But yeah, there's a lot of definitely, like I say, you see it here. It's not as easy as it sounds on any of these ends, really. It's difficult, so it's good to call them out, though. I mean, I think it helps them in the long run. So especially those, like those so-called spiritual teachers that were here, I'm not going to mention names, that were here, that had their heads so far up their ass. and then they kept failing and failing. And there probably is some kind of demonic. Some of them might have been some kind of demon or whatever it is. Some of them, can they get old? They look like demons. It's like, what's that shit? It's like, okay, I made that clear to us. Yeah, writings on the wall there. If you can see it. The other thing is, yeah, discovery. Not to make this all cat themed. 'Cause, I got cats. I can make every video about cats. I'm not gonna do that. But the word, which I don't think about too much, Catherine, I didn't even think about it. Yeah, obviously anything with a K, a C, anything that sounds like a Catherine, Caitlin, whatever. I never even think about it. I just don't, yeah, I don't even, that's on my list of knowing everything. But it's brought to me more of Caitlin, and this person at work, and her nickname is Cat, and it's like, shit, can you be more freaking obvious? I didn't even think about that, and then so I'm so worn out from everything, and then you look at her, it's like, fuck, she even looks like a cat. Yeah, I gotta know what to look at. Even almost like whiskers, almost. Not, there's no whiskers there, but you can see them. If they were, she's like, what the fuck? Like a Persian cat, so. Or one of those like cats, he can be a cat person and be very energetic and have a lot of energy and yada yada yada, but still maturing, But anyway, it's probably more entertaining watching it than living it. But then, yeah, it's another thing. The spirit realms. People think about, okay, we're being watched by spirit beings all the time, right? Not to make it paranoid, but what if there's like millions of spirit beings watching you? Like, this is their TV. Obviously, you've heard of that. The aliens TV, but also the spirit realms. This is their TV, and they're seeing how we do everything. That's been coming up more recently. And yeah, I try not to think about it because, I just want to punch them. It's like, whatever. They're just sitting there looking fat and gross, and we're sitting here and whatever this is. The universe energies it's doing it because it can. Obviously it's tapping into like all of it. It's hard we can only do so much. But a lot of this is just because it's like a university itself. It can be hard because it can be hard. It finds ways of making things. It has to be every planet, but this one is allowed where it can push our buttons and everything. Like we had the storm recently, the hurricane. There's different, it's supposed to have casualties destroyed. Man, the beaches here are destroyed. So, and everything was far away. It wasn't that close, but it was huge also. And of course, it went up north and destroyed a lot of stuff too. So, and it's like, even with Mother Earth's energy is here to, kind of, be harsh, but there's a lot more to it than that. But just to like a teacher of, because she's connected to Mother Nature. Obviously, it's Mother Nature, so she has to use nature to connect with us, to speak to us. So, but still a harshness there out of So they say what about? Obviously, there's a good side to Mother Earth, but obviously it shows there's a darker side too, for something like that to come out of our energy field. And but we need to go through it though. She's not doing it just because she feels like it. It's something that we're so hard-headed here. We need a wake-up call. Some of this, because I didn't get steak. I mean, I've had enough going on as it is. That kind of breezed right by. That was like it was last week when I was here. So, I moved through that pretty unscathed for the most part, but others weren't so lucky. So, I've already went through my version of it. So that's good. But it flips people's lives over. Yeah, it's harsh. It's just It's just a harsh side. She has to pull out her whip and do her thing. I feel like it has to be done. It's just the way it is. It's not supposed to be make a whole lot of sense in our reality. So yeah, some things they have to keep. Well, the same thing as like a teacher energy. She can't reveal her secrets. So anyway, all right. All right. So we do connection to the spirit realms. I do the astral connection, the neutral energy, and just kind of give you kind of a clean slate energy, and then the universe kind of give you a different point of view of that. And yeah. Anyway, all right. Blessings. Greasy with from astral, neutral. Yes, neutral zone. You can say neutral frequencies. Yes, the spirit realms, as some of you realize, can sound like little kids, like little, like little chipmunks. Probably worse than that. It's like energy beings, yeah, because they're young themselves. Yes, they might have a lot of knowledge, galactic. You'd be surprised. They have a lot. It's it's like they have enough energy to power a. Each one of them actually has enough power to power a universe, actually. But it doesn't mean they know how to use it right. Doesn't mean they have the maturity level either. Yes, they can zoom very fast from throughout the universe. I'm just going to use those terms because it kind of works with them, but it doesn't mean they're all that grounded and know how to communicate with your reality. It's like being around a bunch of kids, yes. And then many of you want this, you incarnate here for these hardships to better yourselves, even if you don't think that's happening. Obviously, especially when it's more difficult when others are not here to better themselves. Also share your talents, but it really has to do with. It's kind of like spiritual rehab. You're here to get to a certain goal that you have. And yes, it does get very discouraging, those that are here that just continue to fail and just wander around. And sometimes they might feel like they're even rewarded. And we're talking about here in the physical. Sometimes they're rewarded for their failures because they're just not going anywhere. They feel like the grass is greener when it really isn't. Because they feel like they have the life all together, but they really don't. And that's here in the physical. In the non-physical realms, it's if you might look at what powers your home a little bit different, like a light socket. That's a lot of this, like a spirit being basically is enough to just power your home, power, like I said, the universe itself. Each one is capable of that to some level, but also has roaming blackouts and it goes through its own. Okay, because your energy, you're not, obviously those of you that are connected to the non-physical realms can connect to it. So some ask about powers, and I mean technically you can access all powers, but everyone has a uniqueness, but obviously being in this world, a lot of that's cut off, and that makes this world so unusual because you can't access everything as you used to. So things are not fast, it's slow. And it's like you're warning from the turtle, you could say. Slow things down and what's around you. There's more to it. Even elephants are slow. There's a lot of animals that are slow but have a lot of wisdom. It's like sometimes if you go, you want things, you ask for things to speed up, it actually slows down even more if you're not paying attention. That all depends on the situation, because if your higher self wants you to see something, they'll find some way to get it to you. Yes, things can triply slow. And of course, the human's always on a panic button, normally, not always. But then again, sometimes it is quite justified because there's a lot of stress there. It's hard to trust spirit when you're just, it's the human mentality here does not make things easy, as many of you know. Just the pressures of being here, the mindset, and it surrounds you. That's what you can hear because it's here in this reality. of the worries and everything. So it's hard to, clearing that out and just trusting spirit is a test. But then again, it's like sometimes these worries are justified, sometimes these panics are justified too. And that's what makes it tricky. Well, sometimes it's good to be paranoid, let's put it that way. There's times where it just wears you out, but there's other times, like, especially when you're around people that you're not sure about, and you end up being right. So, and you ask for clarification, you don't always get it. It doesn't mean you're not onto something, but it doesn't. You have to figure out for yourself to some level. But as for spirit beings, yes, they are learning, but a lot of times they have guides that make no sense to help them become better. And this is more difficult for you. It's like, hey, it's like you're letting a kid drive the car, kind of, to somewhat. They're still driving, but they take the wheel and they don't know what the hell they're doing. It's kind of like having a student driver in the vehicle. It's like, okay, you're driving your life. It's like, okay, spirit guide, here, guide me in this scenario. And then you go the wrong direction. It's like, okay, thanks. Now how do I get out of this? But it's all on them still for that happening. It's just not clear here for obvious reasons, but over time, that might make more sense. It's like, why did it go? Why did you bury that person? Well, can I say to your guide, hey guide, is that a good idea? It's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. You get to it. What was I thinking? And the guy's like, well, it looked good at times. Those are having difficulties connected to their higher self. Well, someone knows sometimes too much from their higher self. They're not. It's like you can ask them where the gold nuggets are, so you can be rich, and the higher self's like, So the human sometimes is how when am I gonna get out of this situation? Is this and that? It's like, yeah. You're asking for things. Yeah, it's like you're looking for a genie. And sometimes that might have worked in other realities. A lot of times the higher self has to be hard on the human. Because the human sometimes is out of control, as some of you know. So, alright. Just we're going into more of the universe then. Just lets the universe speak for itself. Blessings. Brings you the universe consciousness. Why would in your position, well, as a parent, a teacher, would you want everyone to just get straight A's and pass the test even if they don't deserve it? So is this why this happens? First off, yes, you might feel like you didn't sign up for it, but then again, you know, you are in the classroom, you are on the planet. However you got here, you have to go through it no matter what, if you like it or not. Let's put it that way. And all this is happening for your own good. And yeah, some of you get very discouraged by the world for good reason, actually, because it continues to fail. And it's very, it's like you're here to evolve and bring things to the world, and the world just not with it. Like, yes, you can be 10, 20, 100 years ahead of yourself, actually. And that's what makes technology so difficult, because technology isn't there either. As some of you might connect to other realities where it's advanced, and maybe someone here has it, but it's not in your hands. But you have the human tech. You have to call it technology, but your human energy is technically technology to some level, and you just have to rely on what you have, tools that you have. And yeah, sometimes that's what some projects go. The world is just not asking for it, or so ideas to build anything for a novel, a book. So the consciousness here is asking for that book, but not always, but sometimes it is asking, and then it'll help you make time to write it, let alone also for projects too. But there can be pushback also. Yeah, if you want to bring some kind of new technology to make things better, but what if those people don't deserve a better experience. They just still are dark and disgusting, and they need to just deal with that. So there's different aspects of all this. It's not supposed to make a whole lot of sense while you're here. Yeah, it's something to make it harder than it needs to. And it's hard to go with the flow when you feel like the flow is going nowhere. A lot of times that's the human consciousness is not moving, and it's very difficult. Yeah, like you're here as a teacher here to evolve society, and society just throwing gum on the wall, crying about politics like that doesn't even concern them. Crying about things, worrying about things that doesn't concern them. There's a lot of that. It's like my life is at peace. I need to find something to be worried about. What is that? Well, that is to stay human, stay third dimension, not evolve. It's like you're coloring in a coloring book, and you can color in the lines and say you're all over the place. I don't want to grow up. I don't want to go. I want to go and waste my time so I don't evolve. You'd be surprised because I'm like it the way it is. Like, yeah, I have a job that's doing good, and my mind is on things that don't mean anything. Like, instead of evolving, it doesn't have to be spiritually evolving. It can just help others, whatever it is. That just move forward, whatever version that means. But as you can see, society is complaining about the elite, the Illuminati, blame game, and all of that. It's not going anywhere. It just likes to go nowhere. It has a culture of going nowhere. Not everybody, but I think some of you see it. So yeah, it gets very discouraging, but it's a test on yourself also to just, yes, the way will find you eventually of opening up what needs to. But yeah, society still, it complains a lot, no matter the female or male. So I feel like the females act like the male is one. Well, the male is tired of the female, first off. They're just burned out. The female is like all energetic, wearing everybody out, tiring everybody out. Not all of them, but quite a few of them do that. And the male is like, I'm depleted. Help me. And the female is like, you're just stupid. It's like, and the male's trying to be nice and everything, and he's so worn out. It's like, okay, I'm just a punching bag for you now. And a lot of times that's not always, not all like that, but I think so. You see that, and not all females. Like some females are like the cheetah, constantly going fast and not realizing who she's running over. So and the lioness can be very, once again, not thinking, but can do a lot, but not thinking. So, and use, the male energies there to kind of get ran over by the female, and eventually the female might see who they're walking over. Eventually, maybe. So, of course, there's other females that just let the male walk over them, so they have their version of it too. Not to say all males want to be walked over, but sometimes they need to, it's like, hey, darling, you see what you're doing? And they don't see it. Sometimes not on purpose. So, I guess there's love there, but it's like, do you see what you're doing? A lot of times they don't. So the universe in general, why it is, well, there is a way out of all these challenges, but you have to go through them. There's hard to explain it for everybody, every individual, but it's not there to always be difficult, but you are here to learn. So, but yeah, obviously many of you are looking at your life after this, and that's not a bad thing. At least you're planning energetically. That's a good thing. That way when you leave here, you know where you're going. Many leave here, they have no idea where they're going, and they wander around and they just make more problems here. So at least you have some kind of plan, so that's good. What's this?